right, I'm Ayanna Tuner with iPUSH magazine, and we are live with the phenomenal, multi-talented, highly intelligent brother, Mr. David Banner himself. Mr. Banner, thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to sit down and to speak with you. And first off, I just want to say first, thank you. Thank you, brother. As a mother of 3 young black men and a daughter, I just want to say thank you for giving them something to look up to, not only my children, but for young black people everywhere. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Now, you do have a lecture that is here on Friday at the historic Carver Theater. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it's awesome because I didn't know that Carver had the history that it did. And like even me being able to come back is history within itself. There was a young lady, well, she is a young lady, but she's also a mother. It's a young lady named Jasmine Kimball. She got my information somehow, and she said, I need you to come down and talk to these men in Birmingham. They need you. Like, you know, I see all of the positive stuff you're doing, you know, around the country. We need somebody for here. And I told her, I said, well, if we're gonna do it, let's do it big. And at the time, you know, I had been lecturing in like Harvard and Stanford and all these big places. Then I noticed, like, you know, I had been educated everywhere. I've been all around the world, but I wasn't bringing these lectures home. Because in my heart, I really thought that my people didn't really want to hear that. And I realized that's not the truth. Like, I just left Shreveport. It was 1,000 people there. You know, and you know, she didn't even know it at the time. Like, I was doing lectures, but I was doing lectures in New York. I was doing lectures in LA. I was doing lectures in Oakland. And I was like, let me bring this back home to my people. And that started the God Box lecture series. And like literally, it's been, I've been amazed. Like, it's sort of like the people put me on Front Street. Like, yeah, you thought we didn't want to hear it. Like, nah, what you, like, they put it back on me.
Exactly.
Like, you know, even right now, we're 70 tickets, you know, to being sold out. We might not even be able to sell tickets at the event at all.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's funny, her grandmother even said, it's like, you know, the places that started the movements for black people, you know, all those people left and went and got educated and moved to these big cities, but they never came back to disseminate that information to the people. You know, so that's what we're doing.
Okay, now you said the God Box, and I do see that that is the title of your album that is coming out. What can people expect? Because this is a totally different David Banner. What can people expect from you on this album?
I actually disagree with that, and I usually let people say that, and you know, because people want the story. They want the storybook story, but like we're here in Historical Museum right now in Birmingham, and what we're finding out is most of the things that history told us is a lie, so I'm not gonna let people lie. Like, I come from a group called Crooked Letters. I was in a cultural group, and then, you know, that went wrong, and I went back to the streets. It's like people think because you act a certain way that you're ignorant. No, I knew better, but the streets are the streets. That's why I don't judge these children. Like, and the old David Banner is still in there too. Don't get it wrong. Somebody pop off at that event, you'll see. You'll see the old David Banner. But the thing is, I don't want people to think that I bumped my head and all of a sudden became conscious. I've been conscious since I was in 11th grade. You know, yes, I have done those some of those things that people said that I did in the streets. And that doesn't take away from one thing or the other, but I've always been this way. I was just drunk and angry and full of drugs, and the thing that people lie is evil feels good. Like, I loved having access to any woman that I wanted. I loved having everybody whisper in my ear and me thinking that I'm more than I was at the time. Like, that's what we have to stop lying to these kids. I was conscious then, but, you know, I was just taking advantage of the moment.
You know, and we all do that. We all do that. Now, when you said that you came to a realization when you knew that, I remember I was watching your interview with Sway in the morning, and you were saying how when you left and you realized that there was something.
Hold on one second. They said I couldn't look at this camera. I'm a natural dissenter, so. Okay, finish what you were saying.
Okay, and you were saying that Wait, David, that made me laugh. Okay.
Let me tell you real quick. Let me tell you why I do that. Cause like when you come to my lectures, like yeah, they are serious. Yeah, we're passing knowledge, but there's so much pain as it pertains to Africans in America. And in order for these kids to retain this information, we gotta make them smile about something. We gotta loosen it up because, you know, we were just asking the question like, man, how do you deal with some of this stuff when you get this other level of knowledge? Because it's so depressing. Some people want to run away from it. So what I decided is to loosen everybody up. We give them a little bit, we make them laugh. We give them a little bit, and make it relatable. So like, you know, what I always try to do, whether we in an interview or not, is to also let people know that I am still human. Like, cause a lot of people think I'm a preacher. Some people think I'm in China. I do meditate, but I don't float yet.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the misconception. You know, that's a misconception. And when you were saying that you knew that you needed to do something different, how was that moment for you, that defining moment for you? How did you feel in that moment?
I went through a depression. Like, I don't even think I said this on camera before. I quit rap. I was done. I was not coming back. I started acting. I opened up a multimedia company. Because one thing that I tell y'all, and I'm serious, I don't think I said this on camera yet either, I'm not gonna be broke. I just refuse to be like Malcolm and Martin. I'm gonna get this paper. Hey, you know, so the thing is, I tell people this all the time, I have information to give, but the level that I've moved to now is, and I said this in my song, Evil Knievel, I said, I will try to never leave you. But if you don't move, I'm gone. I'm giving it 8 years. I'm gonna go hard the next 8 years of my life for my people, because I don't even have kids yet. I'm gonna move to an island, and y'all gonna be flying over this island. That look like a tribe of David Banners. Oh, that's what he was talking about on Play.
Yeah.
Just in a positive way.
Oh, yeah.
But what happened with me is I realized that I had been tricked. You know, because my plan was for my music to always be a Bible with a Playboy cover. You know, if you really go back and look, I had Like a Pimp, then I did Cadillac on 22s, which was a gospel song. God, I know that we pimp. God, I know that we wrong. God, I know I should talk about more in all of my songs. People act like I've changed. It ain't that I've changed, it's that y'all were not listening. You didn't listen to anything but what white folks gave you. So if it wasn't on the radio, you were not paying attention. I did songs with Talib Kweli, with Common, with Dead Prayers, and they were all on the same albums that Play. That, like Play was on and Get Like Me, you didn't listen. So for me, the only change in my life is that I love myself now, and that I've been centered through meditation, and that I know where God is now.
After Friday, after you have ignited something in Birmingham that is very much needed, how do we keep that going? How do we support what you are doing, brother? How do we do that?
Well, I think what happened is that people will be open. Like, I'm going to give an example, and I'm going to tell you guys this, and then I want you to watch it happen that night. I want to show them how much money was made that night. Why does it take a person to come from outside of your city? Because I watch people do this in Jackson, Mississippi all the time. If local people throw something, 2 people show up. But if somebody comes from out of town calling them bitches and hoes, they'll get them $450. You know, they'll get them all their money for people to treat you like the slave master treats you. So once somebody has come in and ignite that, it's now time for local people who have been saying the same thing to come in. Because one of the things that we're doing, we're getting brothers and sisters from the Nation of Islam, we're getting people from the police department, we're getting people from local government, we're getting all these people to come in, then I'm gonna step away. Because I even noticed that when I talk to kids now. I used to stay in front of them and talk to them all day. I don't do that. I get the conversation started, and then next thing that they know, they be like, hey, where's David Banner? And I'm gone. But the conversation is going on, and that's all I'm here to do. That's the reason why I don't tell people my religion. I don't tell people what I believe in, because that's a distraction for you. Don't worry about what I believe in. Just stick to the facts. Let's talk about it, and then I fade away. That's all I'm here. I start and end all of my lectures with, my name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me. I just want you to think.
Wow, that ties into the next thing I was going to say to you, because that's another thing that I heard you say on Sway in the Morning. That was so prominent. This statement stood out so much to me. You said, everybody's not going to agree with everything I say, and they shouldn't. And you said, sometimes I don't even agree with everything I say. I don't care what people think about me, but as long as I'm bringing people together and causing them to think, that's the main thing, the unity in it. And what you're doing, brother, is that you are creating an appetite for people. Even for me, because I can't wait until Friday. You're creating an appetite where we are hungry for more. We want to know more. We want to listen. We want to be educated so that we can teach our children so that they don't grow up with the things that we were not taught in school. How do we do that?
And we're not bombarded with all of these lies. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. While we were walking through the museum, one of the things that because I love the museum, one of the things that I didn't like is that we always inundate our children with all this pain. Like, I'm tired of seeing, like, and I'm from Mississippi. I get the lynchings, I get the church bombings, I get all of that, but what's next? What are the accomplishments? What did go right? So now, because this is my personal opinion, and people will hear me talk about this. I don't agree with who our parents picked for our leader. I don't. I'm a Malcolmite. I'm a Malcolmite. I believe that if our parents would have picked Malcolm, we would have been in a different place. That's my personal opinion. Whether it's right or wrong, we'll never know.
And you're entitled to it.
But we know who we did pick, and we see where we are right now, is all I say. And we have to stop doing the same things. I hear black folks, we're always talking about Jesus. Jesus, 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 Jesus. But anybody who acts like Jesus did during those times, we crucified them.
Right.
Jesus fought against the religion of the time. He went direct, he was a revolutionary. And it doesn't take our enemy to put him up on the cross, we do it. I have a song right now, I said, people ask me if I'm lost. I tell them no, I'm trying to get Jesus off the cross. You know, so for me, that's what we have to do for our children. You know, give them, like even bringing our kids to this event. We sit them down and then we have conversations. I even noticed this. Instead of trying to force the youngsters around me to read something, what I do is I just read it. And I sort of hide it from them a little bit. Or I'll put it and I'll tuck it under something like it's something I don't want. Next thing I know, they in there trying to figure out what it is. And I'm like, yeah. I have a little cousin, all he ever was interested in was pimping and drugs. I was on the third installment of Hidden Colors. So I was downstairs watching Hidden Colors. And I had been trying to get him, you know, on certain books and all this kind of stuff for a long time. He would never listen. But I was just watching Hidden Colors. Watched it for about an hour. I went to bed. I came back 6 o'clock in the morning. I looked downstairs. He had been watching Hidden Colors from 2:30 that morning to 6:30 that morning. He watched all 3 of them. And he just looked up at me and he said, "Cuz, is that stuff you was trying to get me to?" He was like, "Cuz, why don't they teach us that in school?" He was like, "Cuz, maybe if I would have knew that when I was 16, I would have." He was like, "Man, this dude still to this day, that'd been 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I think." Because no, Hidden Colors 3 wasn't out yet. That's right, it was about to come out because I didn't let him know that I was going to be on it because I wanted him to find Hidden Colors 3. That's right, Hidden Colors 3 wasn't out, but I had shot it. To this day, he keeps all 3 episodes of Hidden Colors in his backpack and he loans them out at work.
Wow.
You know, so what I learned is if you do right, you don't have to make your kids do nothing. At the end of the day, I always tell people, whether I do right or wrong in my life, my dad taught me right or wrong. So even when I did wrong, like I told people, I always knew right from wrong, even when I was at my worst. But my father made sure that I knew the difference. And that's all we have to do for these kids. If they're truly your kids and they have your genetics in you, 9 times out of 10, they'll go in your direction. It may go way around the corner. It may take them going through jail a couple times, getting hit or getting beat up. But if the basis is there, they usually come home.
Okay. How can people support what you're doing? How can they find out more? What can people do to support the God Box movement? What can they do?
The biggest thing that people can do for me right now is however you buy music, go and pre-order the God Box. Like, at the end of the day, these kids want to be around something successful. I was able to create my my multimedia company, and that's where I make my money. And I score movies and commercials and video games, and people don't know that. So when they see me looking good, they correlate that with rap, because we honestly don't feel like our people could do nothing but rap and play basketball anyway, and that's not the truth. But if we make conscious music successful, then kids will want to be conscious. Think about most of the people any of us in this room know that were conscious. They broke. They somewhere high, broken, lonely, sad, or they sold out and end up getting a government job. So in saying that, if we want people to do better, we have to show them success in doing better, because these kids are not stupid.
That's right.
The reason why they want to sell dope is because they see the car. They see the girls. They see the fame. You can lie to me and tell me to go to school and get a degree. I don't see that at the end of the day. I don't know nobody that has done that. I don't think I'm going to live past 24 anyway, or 18 or 19 or 20 or 21. So if I can get this car and whatever happens after that, well, I probably wouldn't have had but a few years to live anyway. If we show them a different paradigm, and we show them a successful black man who's not afraid to show how old he is, I'm not going to lie to these kids. I'm grown. That's what my gray beard means. That's what my hair means. I'm free. Last thing that I do want to say, though, I'm going to leave y'all with this. We don't even support the people or put the people who have been fighting for our rights in the right position. Like, just because somebody's rich and they decide to talk about, you know, something that has to do with the movement one time in their life, all black folks follow them people. We don't know if the government or America has sent them people to do that. If historically you haven't seen people do certain things and then all of a sudden they do it one time, that doesn't make them the leader of our movement. I'm tired of America, you know, think about it. When you see these talk shows and you wonder why they'll put, you know, I ain't gonna even call no names. They'll put the mic in front of certain people. You wonder why they send people like Don Lemon and put the mic in front of them in our neighborhoods. They plant those people to put certain thoughts in our children's head and in America's head. And we gotta be more careful with that, in my personal opinion. My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me, just think.
That's right. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Banner, for allowing iPUSH Magazine the opportunity to sit down with you, brother. It was such an honor.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased and so honored to meet you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Y'all support David Banner.
Hold on, I always wanted to do this because I haven't made a rap video in a long time, but I want to do this in my rap days. I always like doing it.